For this video, you'll be needing some paint, green, brown, black, white, yellow, glue gun, some lacquer, the brush for the lacquer, an old toothbrush, a small thin bladed knife with a bendy blade, a brush, a saw, a glass plate like this one, and then you'll be needing some branches that you want to turn into trees. I got some examples here. So if you got all that, then you're good to go. So before we're starting, I wanted to give you this preview of how the trees look once I was done crafting them. I've used them a lot and I am really happy with the result. So if you want to make some as well, then keep watching. Okay, so here we're jumping right in. You can see I'm dividing the last piece of a branch that I had. So they're all in a similar size. And then I'm cleaning the bark for any excess dirt, bark flakes, some sawdust or whatever leftovers there might be from when they were out in nature, being a real tree. I'm cleaning the bark here because I want to apply lacquer to them later on, so I won't just have dirt all over my gaming table in the future. Here I'm using a glass plate. That is for easier release of the glue in the future. If you are using, say, a wooden surface, there is a lot more texture the glue can grip into, and then you'll just make it harder for yourself. And you saw how I applied I attempted to apply some bases at first. I didn't succeed, so I hadn't cleaned the bottom of the trees. If you do that, then you'll probably get a better result. But also I didn't use enough glue, and I didn't add glue up on the tree trunks, so it had a better grip of the tree. So I'm adding some more glue higher up on the tree right now, and then I'm adding more to the bottom. And if the old base is peeling off, you can see that on that one. Then I try and add some glue, some fresh glue between the old base and the tree, and the bottom of the tree, and then just some more onto the bottom, so it's stable. You can see here I'm adjusting the bottom on this one. And the last one I had to redo entirely because it was just all bad from the first go. So you can see I'm adding a lot of glue onto it before I'm putting it down, and then adding some more to the sides. Here is the reason why you want a small thin bladed knife with a bendy blade, because you saw, even though this is sped up, it took quite a lot of effort to release the tree from the glass plate. And again, if I hadn't used glass for it, then it would have been much harder to do so. I could have just used a paper or some other thing to put them on, but then I would have to scrape the paper off later on. Again, adjusting the bases right now and testing them, and now they seem to be alright. So just putting them on, making a little small forest here, and putting on some miniatures so you can see some scaling. So now they're functionable, and this really didn't take long. But I don't like the look of the hot glue on the bottom. It doesn't really fit. So here I'm mixing some paint because I want to cover them up. Most species of trees, they are darker at the bottom of the trunk than they are further up. So I chose to go with a darker base, trying to fake that feeling. Also, I didn't want them to be completely uniform. I wanted a little difference to them. But here I kind of messed up. Remember I mentioned yellow paint in the intro? You needed that. I should obviously have used that because the brown paint is too dark. You can probably see this already. Apparently I couldn't. So I had to go over it again. I should probably add some yellow and some white in order to make the color both lighter and a little bit more gray. Then it would blend better with the surface of the bark. But the good news is you don't have to add any details to the trees because nature has done that for you. already. So they are painted as well as any professional could do, really. You just have to preserve what nature has given to you, really. So here, the bases are better right now, but they're not that good. And also, I elevated the bottom, so once they're drying, they don't have any contact with any surface, so the paint would stick and then scale off later on. So here, for the last stage, lacquering to preserve the trees and not making them loose flakes and dirt all over the place. You can see I've poured the lacquer into a separate can. It's just a bottle I cut into. The reason I did so is to avoid any bark flakes to getting back into the lacquer, because I want to use that for another project in the future. But here we go, all done. And here we are. Some branches have now been turned into trees and put onto a battle grid. I didn't really do much, you saw that in the video, and they still look real nice. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, found some inspiration of your own, and perhaps even learned a thing or two. Should you be interested in supporting the channel, aside from just throwing a like and subscribing, then I'm a published author. I write books, I paint illustrations, and I got a few other things in the works as well. You can see some of my work at tscout.com. There you can also find links to social medias, as well as places where you can buy books and artwork. Any support will be greatly appreciated, even if it's just a click or two to help fight the algorithm. So thanks for watching once again. Hope to see you again soon.